Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download these in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series to help you. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and please do share out the videos. And now we're going to crack on with the paper A of the 2018 practice papers for grade 4. So if you turn with me to page 5, we'll get going on these. So we're going to need to have quite a versatile knowledge of your major and minor scales, and so I always recommend before you even start a paper, if you just write out your list of scales, major and minor scales for the circle of fifths, then you've done all of your thinking in one go and you're not going to have to keep on rethinking all of that information, which might bring mistakes when you're in exam circumstances. So if you're not sure how to work out that circle of fifths list, you can see the link to my video explaining the circle of fifths. You'll find the link in the cards and also in the description, and so that makes your time for your exam paper much easier. So just bear in mind you need to be thinking about your major and minor key signatures here, because we need to describe fully each of these melodic intervals. Now, regardless of what order the notes come in, we're always counting upwards. So the first half of the job is easy peasy. We just count up, making sure you always count the lowest note as note 1. Regardless of what your key signature is, we always take this lowest note as the tonic, and we just bear the key signature in mind and how it will apply to any of the notes that we've got. So first of all, we can see we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's half of the job done. So that's half marks straight away. Now this is F sharp to D. Now it's always helpful to visualize these on a piano keyboard, even if you don't play piano. You just need to remember that minor means lesser, major means greater, and then we extend those further with diminished and augmented intervals. So we have, first of all, let's think F to D would be a major sixth because D is part of F major. And then we've made it smaller by raising that lower note, and we've gone from F sharp to D, and so now we know it's a minor sixth. That's the smaller interval, and that D is part of the F minor scale there. So that's a minor sixth, because raising that lower note because of the key signature makes it smaller. Let's look at this next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know it's a something fifth. So here we have an E to a B flat. Now let's just look at this. E to B would be a perfect fifth. However, E to B flat, we've made that interval smaller, and so we've gone straight from perfect to diminished. Remember, in fourths, fifths and octaves, there's no such thing as a major or minor interval. For fourths, fifths and octaves, we've gone from perfect, we've made it smaller, and so we've diminished that interval, and so that's a diminished fifth. There we go. So let's count this one. So half marks is easy peasy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a seventh. So that's half the marks. Now then, we need to just do a little bit of thinking. We need to sort of extrapolate our thinking. We've got, first of all, so we know E to D is a seventh. Now E major would have D sharps. So E to D sharp would be major. E to D natural would be minor. However, it's an E flat, and so E flat to D is major because that's part of your major scale, And also you can see how it's just a parallel change, E to D sharp, E flat to D. It's still the same interval, we've just parallel moved it down, and D is part of E flat major if we're thinking about that lowest note being our tonic. So it's just a plain old major seventh. There we go, next one. So now we've actually got to create the interval. So we need to create an augmented fourth here. So first of all, let's just get the right number of steps. So let's get the blob in the right place. 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to a D. Now A to D would be perfect. However, we need to augment that, so we need to make it bigger. So we need to raise that to a D sharp. Let's just look at that. A to D is a perfect fourth, and then we augment it by raising that top note. So we use a sharp sign to raise it. Let's look at this one. So a third, 1, 2, 3. But we need to make sure it's a major third. So let's look at that. Now we've got an F sharp to an A at the moment. Now, first of all, let's look at F to A would be major. That's part of your major scale, and you can see that's your major tonic triad, F, A, C. You can see that major interval, that major third. And so if F to A is major, we just parallel move it up. F sharp to A sharp is major. F sharp to A is minor, that's a minor third, it would be smaller. F sharp minor has A in it. So if we raise the A to match the raised F, we've got a major third just the same. So we're just parallel moving that major third from F to A to F sharp to A. We're just working through and thinking in increments. There we go. And we still need to bear in mind some scales and key signatures for question 3. And so if you've done your circle of fifths, all your thinking is done here. So we need to write 1 octave ascending of the scale of F harmonic minor. So we don't need a key signature, but we need to bear it in mind for accidentals. Now F minor is related to A flat major, which would have a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats and D flats. And then we're going to have to change it to make it harmonic minor. But let's just get the blobs in the right place. So we'll think about the note heads. We're in the treble clef. We're using semi-breve, so we don't need to worry about stems. So we'll start on a low F in the treble clef, and then it's space, line, space. Remember, scale just means step, so we're just stepping up this ladder system. Space, line, space, line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our octave. Now it's really, really important that you use a pencil, because to follow the steps through one step at a time, you're going to have to rub out in a moment. Not because you've made a mistake, but just because you're following the steps through systematically. So first of all, we'll apply the key signature as accidentals. So we need B flats, E flats, A flats and D flats. If you're not familiar with the treble clef, if it's not conducive to the instrument that you play, by all means just sketch out the letter names, and so you know that you've put the flats against the correct note heads. Now then, the harmonic minor has the raised seventh. We're ascending, so we're counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's our seventh, and so the flat, if we look at that, a flat raised becomes a natural, so we just need to get rid of that flat. That becomes a normal E. And you can either leave it like that, or you can put a natural sign to show that you've raised that seventh, or alternatively, because that's kind of redundant, we don't really need to add the natural sign, just a plain old E would do. What you can do is you can just pop it in brackets, so any one of those would answer the job. Let's look at the next question. So the next question, we're asked to add the correct clef and accidentals to make this the scale of B major. Don't use a key signature, so we need to use accidentals. We need to bear in mind what the key signature would be, and again, if you've done your circle of fifths, you already know that, and you know that it's F, C, G, D, A sharp. So that's the accidentals we're going to have to apply. Now we need to add the clef, so we need, of course, B major to begin and end on B, and so for that to be the case it needs to be bass clef. If you put a treble clef you'll begin and end on G, and all the notes in between will be wrong. And so again, if you're not familiar with the clef, by all means, B, C, D, write it in, E, F, G, A, B. You can always rub it out afterwards when you've done your thinking. So let's apply this key signature now as accidentals. So F, C, G, D, A. You notice I'm going in order of the key signature, so I know I don't miss one out. I'm not going in order and just thinking. It's too confusing, that thinking for me, so just follow it through in the order of the key signature. And because it's a major, there's no need to raise or consider anything else of the degrees of the scale. That's key signature applied, job done. And so that's the end of that question. We'll continue with the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helping you. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please do share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.